Welcome back to the channel. What's cracking? How you doing? How are you? Hope so good. So today we're talking about this beast of a monitor right behind me. It's the Benq Sw321C. Now I had to read that because it's such a long name. Now if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've been previously using Benq's SW24 version, 240, 24. These model numbers, I don't know. But I absolutely loved that monitor. I felt like that monitor was the perfect balance for breaking into pro photography. So you get that cheap budget price. I think that monitor was around £500 mark or so like that, but you got the highest quality at that price range. There was nothing else that could compete with it. I wanted to see what would happen if you went full pro, the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Which brings me to this monitor. I begged Benq and they sent one over to us so that we can review it for you guys. So my review today isn't going to be a typical review because there's thousands of reviews out there for this monitor with photography. I kind of want to show you how you can use this monitor as a video content creator, especially on YouTube, because nowadays as photographers we are shooting a lot of video, and this is the first monitor truly from Benq that caters to those photographers that also make video content as well. So we'll be getting into that today. Right then, let's get into it. All right then, so first things first, when you receive this box, you'll realize it's humongous. Now it makes sense, it's a beast of a monitor, so it must have a beast of a box to contain it. Man, all I know is I struggled carrying this thing into the house, but it was so worth it. Now, before we start talking about the contents of the box or how I feel about this monitor, I just want to run through the specs of the monitor because these are quite detailed and I just want to get that out there so you guys know. So first of all, you get a 32-inch panel, which is an IPS panel. It has a HDMI 2.0 connector, DisplayPort 1.4, USB Type-C, as well as a built-in USB 3.1 Gen 1 hub. Also a card reader, and that's all the connections to the back. It's a 3840 by 2160 at 60 Hz native resolution, which means it's a UHD monitor and not a 4K DCI monitor. It has 1300:1 contrast ratio. It's 250 CD/M in brightness, and it has 178 degrees viewing angles, 5 millisecond response time, 10-bit color support, Adobe RGB, DCI-P3, sRGB, and Rec 709 gamuts. I think the 100% is 100% in Adobe RGB, 96% in DCI-P3, 100% sRGB, and 100% Rec 709. And I think that's it for the specs, right? Now, the first thing you'll notice when you set the monitor up is that it's got a different panel to what you're used to. Now, the previous monitor that I had, you know, the SW240, that had a matte screen. So was this one, but it's a complete different level of matte. Now, I'm just going to show you an example here. I'm going to shine my torch on my phone just to show you what hard light will do to the monitor. And on this monitor, you can see it diffuses the light really well, and on the older monitor, it's a really harsh, sharp light. Now that makes sense. Say if you're working in a dark room and you're putting the light bulb on and it's above your head, you don't want to get that harsh glare upon your screen. So this is really dope. This new technology they put into this monitor for this screen here is just incredible. It also cuts down normal daylight reflections as well. I'll give you another example here. In this example here, you can see the reflection of the window with the lamp there. And in the same angle on this new monitor, you hardly see anything. You just see a slight little bit of glow of light, which is amazing. I mean, it comes with a hood around it, as you can see here. But because this reflects light away so well and absorbs the light into the panel, you hardly need to use that hood around the monitor, which is just super dope. Also about the panel as well, I love the viewing angle. So if you've got a load of people over trying to watch your content that you created on this screen, or clients are crowding around, everybody that's there can get a view on this thing. There's nothing worse than trying to look at a monitor and you're looking up and down, left and right, because you just can't get the angle right, or the colors look all weird every time you move your head around. None of that with this panel. It's just super dope. It's nearly got a 180 degree viewing angle. It's like 178.9 or something like that, which is just amazing. So BenQ have pushed this monitor, I would say, towards content creators like myself. If you're into photography and you get asked to do short videos, or maybe you're making videos here on YouTube, this monitor from BenQ is the best one to step into. Yes, it's more expensive, but you get everything that you need to be a dual content kind of creator. So the monitor has built-in HDR10. I'm not a user of that yet, but that is at least something great for myself. It's future-proof and it's great for, say, video games and certain contents on the internet via Netflix and stuff like that. But if you are editing in HDR, which I know a lot of you guys are now, at least you know this has HDR10 built into it. It also can deal with HLG, hybrid log gamma formats directly and natively in the monitor, which is super dope because hello, it's 2020 and a hell of a lot of our cameras now are shooting in HLG and log formats, so having that is super nice. You've got 100% on the sRGB on the Rec 709, and I think it's like 96% on DCI. So we know we can deal with those colors that we need to for clients. It's also got this hot book thing here, which is super handy for when you're dealing with certain types of work or trying to show different things. Basically, on the first selection channel there on mine, I have that set to Adobe RGB. So if I'm working on photography that needs to be printed out onto posters and stuff like that, I know I have that color space, and at a click of a button I can flick over to number 2, which I've got set to my Rec 709. So when I'm working on video files and stuff like that, it seamlessly changes over, no hassle. And then on my third selection there, I have sRGB. So when I'm working on my internet content, say for Instagram or just normal websites, sRGB is going to have me completely covered there, which is just super handy. And this monitor being a 4K resolution monitor means now that finally I get the timeline space which I need when I'm working inside my editing space. So when I'm sat there in DaVinci, no longer is my timeline all squished up and crunched up. I can finally see it in full spectrum, which is just, it's a must. And just having that 4K resolution really opens up that real estate. Also, being 4K means now I can natively watch my content back, whereas before I was recording in 4K on my camera, but then my monitor wasn't 4K, so therefore there was a bit of a confusion there afterwards. Am I sharpening it correctly? Am I not sharpening it correctly? And talking about sharpening, because of the size of this monitor, it's a 32-inch, it means that the pixel per inch is the correct ratio for 4K. So what basically that means is a lot of people tend to say, video professionals, they'll go for a 32-inch monitor over a 27-inch monitor, just because when you come to sharpen your images, you've got a true ratio spectrum there of being able to do that. I don't know the full technicals of it, but basically, you know, you've sharpened correctly and it don't look all fuzzy or it don't look over sharpened afterwards, just because of the size of the panel and the amount of pixels that are shoved into that size there. Another thing I really love about this monitor, it's hard to explain on a YouTube video right now, but basically when I'm looking at this screen, it looks so realistic. It looks like I'm looking at a printed photo rather than looking at a digital screen. It's hard to explain. The colors and everything, even the sharpness of the icons, nothing looks digital about this screen, which I don't know how they've pulled it off, but it's just super nice. If I show you a little video sequence now of my background wallpaper, just take a look at those mountains and how beautiful they look. And it looks so nice. And if I just move you over to my old monitor here, now bear in mind this is still a pro monitor, but you'll see some sort of digitization happening here, and I don't know what that is. I guess it's just time, like, you know, it's been a couple of years since the release of the other monitor, so time has progressed, technology has progressed, and now we're getting panels that are this super nice, which kind of brings me into what you get inside the box, because we need to talk about this panel right now. The first thing I'm going to talk about is this new cleaning roller that you get for this panel. It's a special panel, so it needs a special cleaner, and this roller just gets off the dust. I don't think you're supposed to use any cloths or cleaning materials other than that. Inside the box also you get all the appropriate cables, and this is a theme of BenQ. They send you more cables than you actually need. There's all sorts of cables in this thing. I will put text on the screen now to explain what you get inside there, but obviously you also get your manuals, the shading covers inside the box, and you get the hot book key thing that you can move around and stuff. So yeah, those are my My initial thoughts and feelings of this monitor. I really like this monitor, and I will be making more video content around this. If I've left anything out that you want to know about this monitor, please leave it in the comments below and I will address it and get to it as soon as possible. So then, that's my breakdown or my break-in of this monitor, so to speak. If you enjoyed this content, then please leave a thumbs up. I will be making more videos around this monitor in the near future. I'm thinking about doing live streams on this channel. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but maybe we'll do some live photo editing or live video editing. But either way, I can demonstrate how I will go about switching up my workflow using this monitor. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on those. And that's basically it for this video. My thoughts and feelings on this monitor is, yes, it's very expensive, but it's aimed at a certain market. It is aimed for the professional who's doing both things, video and photography. If you're going to buy a monitor like this, you're already in a certain position. It's like certain gamers that are streaming, they get certain monitors that cost a lot more than what this monitor costs. If you're a CAD design, you know, you do a lot of graphics design, you buy a certain type of monitor on purpose to achieve your best work, and those monitors are like 2,000 to 4,000. I mean, some of these monitors for film editing, video editing, they're like 10 grand, some of these monitors. So for this to come into that range, that spectrum, that professional industry standard level at this price range, it is still budget, even though it's super expensive. That's my thoughts. All right, if you enjoyed the video, like I said, thumbs up, hit the like, all that nonsense. I'm sorry, I'm just so hot today. I don't know why I'm wearing this hoodie. It's just because I'm naked underneath it. I didn't want to film myself naked, you know. Leave a comment below, hit subscribe, catch you in the next one. Peace.